Hey folks, it's Zion Prepper here, and I'm going to do a product review on two different types of stoves. It's the Swiss Army Volcano stove, and that's the one on the left hand side there. And on the right we have a MSR, and that's a small compact stove, as you can see. The first thing that I considered was the ability or the portability of these stoves, and how compact are they so that I can put them in my backpack when I'm hiking. You can see that each of them is pretty compact, pretty small. The MSR fits in that bag. It's a little bit more bulky to carry around and a little bit more weight, simply because you have to carry that fuel bottle with you. Right there, and that can weigh quite a bit, full, maybe 1 or 2 pounds, so that's not a whole lot. But when you're carrying a lot in your backpack, it can add up in terms of weight. Now, each takes a different type of fuel. The Swiss Army Volcano stove on the left hand side you can use any natural resource, being wood, leaves, bark, anything you find that is dry out in nature can be used as fuel for that. The advantage to the MSR is that, number one, you get a hotter flame, so it's going to burn a heck of a lot quicker. And number two, you can use multiple fuel sources. You can use unleaded gas, you could use kerosene, you can use jet fuel if you change the nozzles out. And as you can see, I use white gasoline, and that's in the back there, the Coleman 1 gallon cans. I've got several of those. The disadvantage is if you only have one bottle full of fuel, obviously it's kind of very inconvenient to carry the 1 gallon can. And you're camping for a week at a time, you got to make it last. But nevertheless, it is possible and you can do that. So once again, each one uses a different type of fuel. One uses natural resources, and the other uses fuel-based compounds for its fuel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them out and show you what they look like out of the packages, or once they're disassembled things. Okay, when you take them apart and you get ready for use, that's what they look like. The Volcano stove on your left, and the MSR stove. And by the way, MSR stands for Mountain Safety Research. Absolutely great products, and that's what that stove looks like there. And you saw how compact it was when I originally took it out of the packaging. So now we're actually ready to light this stove, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and light the stove, and then I'm going to time it, see how long it takes for each, both the Swiss Army Volcano stove and the MSR stove, to boil a cup of water. And because it could be up to 3 or 4, or actually 5 or 6 minutes for the Volcano stove. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on as soon as we're done. Okay, you can see that's the MSR stove heating up. It actually sounds like a jet engine, it's so loud there. I didn't have my camping stuff with me, so I just grabbed a fan from in the house. It took less than a minute to heat up enough water for a couple of cups of coffee on that little stove right there. And I do believe the MSR, you can use up to 10-inch cooking utensils, or cooking fry pans and pots on that little stove there. So less than a minute, you can hear it. It sounds like a jet engine, and very impressed with what it can do. All right, let's go to the Volcano stove now. Okay folks, this gives you an idea what the Swiss Volcano stove looks like. You can tell that you get an awful lot of smoke, so if you were kind of in an SHTF situation where you were trying to take cover and not be noticed, this might not be the stove of choice, because it does smoke a lot. However, beyond that, it's a great stove for backpacking, a good stove just in case there is a natural disaster such as a tornado, a flood. Provided you have dry kindling and tinder and you can keep the fire going, it will actually do a wonderful job for you. So let me go ahead and time how long it takes to heat that water up, and I'll get right back. Okay folks, back with the Swiss Volcano stove. It took about 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes to get the water to boil. You can see there it's the water steaming. So that's a good thing. And so let's just kind of compare and contrast each of the stoves. The Volcano stove is very simple. It all fits together in one piece. It's very lightweight, very compact. It uses multiple fuel sources, all of which are natural. Anything dry in your surroundings will work as well, even at home, paper, etc. On the other hand, we have the MSR stove, which uses 4 or 5 different types of fuel, or you can change the jet nozzles out. So you have a nice variety of fuel you can use. Disadvantages, you can't use anything from your surroundings. You have to use the man-made fuel, but that's usually typically not a problem. The stove itself here is very compact. It comes in its own case, but you do have to carry the fuel bottle, and depending on your circumstances, that may be the only fuel you have in that bottle. And once that's gone, you're out. So each stove, in summary, has its purpose and has its place in any prepper's repertoire. So I would highly recommend the Volcano stove and the MSR stove as well. I've got mine on eBay, and I got my Volcano stove for, I think I got that for about $7 or $8. That included shipping. And I'm trying to remember, I think I picked this one up a little more than $100 if I remember. It's been a while. I've had it for quite a while. So this is Zion Prepper with a product review signing out. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.